Mark Zuckerberg has taken the stand in a landmark trial accusing social media giants of knowingly exposing children to harm. The Meta boss defended his leadership of Instagram, a platform that now sits at the centre of claims it was deliberately designed to be addictive. Peter Griffin, host of Business of Tech podcast, is with us this morning. Hey, Peter.
Morning, Ryan.
So he's appeared before. I mean, did we learn anything from him?
Well, it's typical Zuckerberg, he's spouting lies and misinformation and essentially saying, if we did try to addict you with our algorithms, we've changed our ways and there are lots of tools now to avoid that. But that simply isn't the case. Researchers have pointed out that this company has done harm. The New Zealander Sarah Wynne Williams, a whistleblower, wrote an entire book called Careless People about this. So, this is really good that, this is a case that's a bit different from the ones that have come before because it focuses on the attention economy, the algorithms, the endless scroll, all the methods they use rather than the content itself. And Zuckerberg and others have been able to sort of worm their way out of other suits before. So, this is a big moment. He's in front of his peers. For many days, him and executives from YouTube will be subjected to a lot of uncomfortable questioning, and it will happen in front of average Americans, and this will be very emotional, and it could go against them, but I don't think that this will actually lead to the sort of change. It may not be the sort of turning point moment that lots of people are hoping for.
Yeah, Peter, is that because they've got too much money and too much power?
Yeah, well, it sort of boils down to that. In terms of the case, this is a civil case. It's happening in California. So there may be a ruling there that Meta and YouTube have to pay this woman, Kaylee, she's a 20-year-old woman who claims that she was really impacted negatively by these platforms. Her mental health really suffered. She might get a big payout. There are hundreds of other cases going on, but it only really applies to California. And the bigger picture here is that Zuckerberg has spent the last couple of years really cozying up to Donald Trump. A lot of the antitrust action against big tech has effectively fizzled because Trump has said to these companies, if you help me make America great again and make artificial intelligence the best in the world, make America the best in the world, I'm going to leave you alone. And that is sort of how things are playing out.
The thing is, Peter, you can't, because didn't they settle, correct me if I'm wrong, but haven't they, two companies, I think, including TikTok, already settled with this woman?
That's right. Snapchat, TikTok have
because how can you not agree, like any reasonable person, surely, Peter, would agree that this stuff is addictive? Because if you've been on there, you just know it is. And then that it does harm to children, well, of course it does. I mean, isn't this all just a given?
Well, Zuckerberg doesn't see it that way. He knows that, but the future of Meta and his entire empire is tied to the attention economy. So the implications for shareholder value, are devastating. If he had to fundamentally change the model that has made Meta and Instagram and Facebook so great, so he'll fight this to the death. And the only hope really is that the hundreds of cases that are coming behind this one will lead to change around the country. And it may be that Ford Pinto moment where the Ford company, paid out a lot of money because it built an unsafe car. It knew it built an unsafe car in the 1980s, and it led to behavior change across the automobile industry. That's what people are hoping for. I think it's a long shot, but something is definitely changing. We see in New Zealand the social media ban being considered. So around the world, people are going, we've had enough of this.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks, Peter. Peter Griffin, host of the Business of Tech podcast.